Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Worries on my mind, it's been a tough week. My life feels a void. There's something that I need. My supplies on the table, I grab a comfy seat. I need to craft to put my mind at ease. Crafting changed my life, it mends my soul. In my happy space, I'm in full control. It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting videos on, searching what I can do. Sipping on my drink, feeling inspired and new. Crafting's good for the soul, it's so true. Bringing beauty into the world through as I craft my...
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there, and happy Halloween to everyone out there. We've got people that tune in from all over the world, and we just like to get together and talk about crafting. So if that's something that you're into, you're definitely in the right place. My name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and let's see who we have visiting with us today. So let's just run through really quick. In the chat here, I see Faker McFake. Good morning to you. He says it's a lust. She said, lovely Louisiana day, 52 degrees. Wow. Well, I'm tuning in from Miami, Florida, and today it's about 61 degrees outside right now. Whoa. That's pretty chilly for us, but thank you for joining. Okay, we've got Renee Meyer, and she says it's 51 degrees in chilly Long Island. Good morning to you. We've got Debbie Maddox. Good morning. We've got Lori. Good morning to you. Let's see who else we have here. We've got Joyce Adams, and she's saying good morning to everyone as well. All right, we've got Donna Crusoe. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but good morning to you. We've got JBL from Alabama. Good morning. We've got Robin's Quilt Basket. Good morning to you. Georgette, hey, good morning. How you doing? We've got Lisa Lilly from Richmond, Illinois. And we've got, let's see, it's Jenny Owens. Oh, good morning. Yes. It is a beautiful day today, definitely. We've got Sue Galvin from Illinois as well. Jessica Craft Theory. She's from Oregon. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Jackie Hallman. She says TGIF. Yes, it is. Woohoo! It's Friday. Not just Halloween, but it's Friday as well. So double whammy for us. We've got Cindy Ball. Good morning. We've got Evelyn. Good morning to you. And of course, we've got our friends from Canada. Yay! Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. We've got M.I. Weber. Good morning from Eastern Iowa. Awesome. Oh my goodness. Don't think we've ever had anyone from Iowa before. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. Okay, let's see. We've got, of course, Nancy from Boston. Hello, and I hope you're staying nice and warm. And let's see, I hope I didn't miss anyone. We've got Connie Torres, we've got Heather Kaufman, Barbara, good morning, good morning. Let's see, Melinda, good morning to you as well. And I'm not sure if I missed anyone. Now the chat's kind of moving with everyone saying good morning to each other. And of course, happy Halloween. So, awesome. So thank you all again for joining. I truly appreciate all of your support on this channel. We have just taken a surprise on the amount of people that really love crafting, and I just love to be able to share my journey with you guys. And it's just an amazing hour that I get to spend with you every day. We're on Monday through Friday, and we have a Facebook group as well where you can share all kinds of projects and tips as well. We love the interaction with you guys, and don't forget, if you have a birthday or something that you want us to give a shout out to, maybe you've got an event coming up or a shop and you're having a sale or something, go ahead and let us know. Fill out the little form down in the link below, and just let us know the information so that we can kind of validate it and then go ahead and, you know, give you the shout out. So alrighty. Awesome. Yay, Jaws Mom. Good morning from Lake Ridge. Alrighty. Okay. Yes. Uh-oh. You're starting Halloween with a water leak. Oh, no. Awesome. No, no. Not a good way to start the morning, but hopefully I can turn that frown upside down for you. Okay. Alrighty. So what are we doing today, right? Because we've got a lot of stuff. So today we are going to finish up our little patchwork pumpkin project. And if you've been following us along, we started a little project and it's just a pillow. So I was able to go ahead and sew up all the last of the pieces, and I'll show you my finished top. And now we just need to make the back to make the pillow, and we are done. And I'll tell you about all kinds of other little options as well. Okay. Oh, today your wonderful rulers come in. Yay. Happy dance for you, Cindy. Awesome. Great timing, because now you have it for the weekend. Yes. You get to play with it, right? All kinds of things that are out there. And, you know, they're just wonderful little tools that, you know, we like to do and play with and demo. And it's just a lot of fun. Okay. So let's go ahead and start our little toast of the day, shall we? Because we always like to start our channels with a little toast. So go ahead and raise your glasses of whatever it is you have in the morning, coffee, tea, soda, water. It doesn't matter. No judgments here. Raise them nice and high, because we're going to raise them and toast for a great, safe, and happy Halloween for everyone out there. And I hope you also have a fantastic weekend and do a lot of sewing and get in that craft room. Okay, so raise them nice and high. If you don't have a drink, no worries. I will pour you a cup. So let's go ahead and get something nice and hot for these people, because they're kind of cold. It is chilly out there. So raise them nice and high. Cheers. Yes, Barbara, cheers. Awesome. Go ahead and give yourself a little swivel here. Okay, I took 2, and I'm going to take 1 more. Awesome. Woo, yes. All right, feels great in the morning. Gets me going. All right, now. Good morning, Flo. Yes, cheers, cheers. Awesome. All right, so we've got our little drink in our hands and ready to go. Let's go grab a snack, because it's Halloween and we've got snacks to do. So let's roll out our food truck. Go ahead and grab your snacks. We've got all kinds of things on the food truck. So let's go ahead and roll that. There it is. Yeah, we've got everything, candy and all. in the food truck. So no worries if you haven't gotten that candy for tonight. Go ahead and pick some up in the food truck because I'm sure that there's some there. But we've got everything from muffins and croissants and coffee, tea, soda, water, and of course carrots and kale for all the healthy folks out there. So go ahead and grab yourself hopefully a healthy snack. And
Happy Halloween!
Here's our little Halloween team. They are ready and ready to go for tonight, and they're going to be giving out all kinds of little goodies to the little ones out there. So I hope you guys all have all your little costumes ready for those of you that were making the costumes, and all your decorations and ready to go, because this is a day where you kind of sit back and you put all your decorations up and you kind of take a step back and just kind of admire your work. All that hard work that you did, don't forget to take a picture of it so that you can see that on your phone or wherever you store your pictures. Go ahead and take pictures of it and, give yourself a little proud moment. Post in Facebook. I'd like to see how you guys decorate. If you guys do something really fancy. We've got a couple people in the neighborhood that really go all out for Halloween. So yeah. Oh, Cindy said leftover birthday cake. If there's some left for you, please. No problem. We've got tons of cake, and I think they're even doing little Halloween cupcakes back there. All kinds of flavors. So go ahead and grab yourself some. You can have 1, 2, 5. It really doesn't matter. But, Lisa Lily had a great birthday, and her birthday was yesterday, and she had some cake. So I'm sure there's some there. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So you've got, I've got that little thing again in my throat. Let me grab another little sip here. It always happens when I'm live, right? So I've got to have a drink. Too much talking, right? Okay. So we've got our drink, we've got our snacks. I hope you're in your cozy spot or at least a safe place to watch. Let's get started, right? Okay, so like I said, we went ahead and we've been working on can't talk today. Patchwork Pumpkin. It's a pillow, and this is a free download that you can get from the Fat Quarter Shop. Link is below. If you haven't started it, this is a really quick project that you can do on the weekend, and you can use your scraps. Doesn't cost you a thing. Go ahead and download it. It has wonderful instructions on here, and it has a very nice illustration as well if you're kind of a visual person and need some aids. So these are the instructions on what they look like. Very, very nice. We've also shared some tips during the week on some of the cutting, the little pieces on here that you need to put together. And I'm ready to kind of share what I have already. So this is what we're going to be finishing up today. Let me just pull it out here. I'm going to show you this fabric since we're already here. Oh, now he flipped it back. There we go. So on here for the back of the pillow and for the outside border, I went ahead and picked this fabric here. It is a batik, but it is really beautiful because it's got a lot of oranges and yellows in here, and I think it works perfect with the squares that we've shown. So this is going to be the back of the pillow. I went ahead and have my pins in place just to kind of get through some of the extra little steps today. And then let me just pull my little rulers back here so they're not glaring away. Then I'm going to show you this one here. I can scoot this over. This is what we have as our top. So you can see that here. Okay. I'll lay it flat on the table. But very easy, got put together really well. You can see I've picked that light gray background here, and then we have our pumpkin and the nice batik going all the way around it. So this right now can be anything. Doesn't have to be a pillow if you don't want to make it a pillow. This right here, it's a pretty large pillow, and the finished size of the pillow, well, the finished size is 24 inch by 24 inches. And so I believe you use about either a 24 inch or a 25 inch pillow because you want to give it a little bit of a poof, right? So that's what you would use here. So it's a pretty large pillow that you can use as a decor on your couch, you know, or wherever, a rocking chair, maybe on the bed, you know, just somewhere that looks really decorative, right? Looks great. Oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I loved how it turned out too. I think it's really nice. I love the colors. The yellows and the oranges, I think, were spot on. This was really good. Good morning from East Texas. Thanks for joining. And so I think, you know, the batiks really kind of coordinate well with it. I was a little afraid because the yellows have a lot of these little design here that's a little busy, but the orange kind of offsets it and gives it a little bit of that calmness here. And then I added the batik just to give it that visual interest and a little bit of a blend between the orange and the yellow. So yeah, so me and Miss Molly were up late last night and we were sewing this together. Of course, I was playing all my songs for Miss Molly. I think she really likes them. So I didn't have too many issues where I had to take out my seam ripper. So I think we did a pretty good job on here. Went ahead and put that border in place, and now we're ready. And if I flip this over here, you see all of the seam lines here. I know a lot of people never show the back of the work, and I always wonder why. Why not, right? What I like to see it because you can see really like what happened. And there were a couple times, trying to see if I can find them, where it flipped on me. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, here's one. So right here on the end, see how this is flipped over? So as I was sewing the inner border to the squares right here, my seam flipped over. Okay, and so let me bring this over to the desk cam so you guys can see that. I'll scoot this over because I want you to see the mistakes as well. You know, now to the front, there, you know, you can't see anything, right? To the front, it's fine. In the back, and this is why I wonder, why don't they show the back? This is where you can kind of see where the oopsies were and things like that. This right here, you can see was flipped to the wrong side. So this was laying nice and flat. All my seams were fine. And then when I sewed my inner border to my squares, this got caught underneath and it flipped to the other side. It should be going this way. And so you have this little bit of a twist going on back here. So, you know, not really liking that, but it doesn't affect the look in the front. But one thing that you can do, and I've learned this from a few people, you just grab a pair of scissors here, and you're not going to cut your fabric. You're just cutting that little bit of a seam. Just do a little bit of a snip. There we go. See how I snipped that? Just that little snip here, and then now it will lie flat. And there you go. You see, you'll have that split seam. Let me bring it a little closer so you guys can see that. Can you see that there? So I just snipped it. Nobody's going to see it. It's not going to matter, but it's going to lay nice and flat. So I won't feel that little twist from the other side. So although on this side, you don't see anything, it looks perfectly fine, but I know that that little twist is back here. And if I snip it, it'll lay nice and flat, so I won't feel that at all. So that's just something that I do. If I didn't catch it while I was sewing, I'll go ahead and just snip it. Just be very careful you're not snipping into your seam, right? You've got to be very, very careful. You're just doing a tiny little snip just so you can lay it flat. That's all it is. And then I can just go in with my iron and just press it down. No big deal. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can totally leave it alone. No one's going to see it. Nancy Mama, haha, love music and dancing. Yes, why not, right? We've got to live, right? That's what we're here for. The real Miss Molly loved to dance. Awesome. Played the tune. Well, you see, that she was dancing away last night, I can tell you that. She was dancing away. Because we've got the music, why not? I mean, right? we spent a lot of time, and hubby spent a lot of time on the music. And speaking of our CDs here, and I kind of put them a little on display for just kind of, you know, proud. We're kind of proud that we've got 2 CDs. I mean, who can say that they have created music and have some crafting tunes out there, right? So it's pretty cool. So we keep them up there, and I have it down here. And this is where I kind of play it. This is my little player over here. And so I play my little CD, and, you know, we just have a great time, you know, sewing together and having a lot of fun. Okay, was she doing the monster mash? She may be doing that tonight. Who knows? You know, as we give out the candy, she'll be doing the monster mash. Yeah, my son's saying he wants to go trick-or-treating. Why not, right? Why not? So we'll go around the neighborhood. Nothing major, just probably take a little walk. It'll be good to get out, get some fresh air, and, you know, just go around, say hello to everyone, and then just kind of come right back in. So we may do some of that. Yeah. You love the crafting tunes. Awesome. Okay. So I would have taken Jack the Reaper. It's a great idea. Oh my goodness. So we play the Seam Ripper song a lot. And that one, you know, is the one with our little seam ripper. So I do, when I have to grab this out, I always think I got to play the Seam Ripper song. Because I'm not real happy that I'm taking it out, but once I play the song, it's all good. So I think it's a great time. Okay, so I think Mr. H is he playing it now? He's playing it now. Yeah, he is. Okay, why not? Well, we didn't have too much of the Seam Ripper out last night. It was just a couple times, but nothing major. So this is our outside pillow now, and so now we're ready to kind of make it a pillow, or you can just leave it and make it a table topper. Maybe you just want to quilt it as a wall hanging, you know, and just have it as decor. You can just do so many different things at this point. It is just up to you what you want to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't have all that many pillows, so I'm just going to go ahead and make it a pillow. Why not? So what I want to also do is use up this batik fabric because I've had it for a while, and this was the perfect project for it. And all I did was use it as the outside border. So I want to go ahead and kind of do the pillow for that. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this out here. And all I've done, and let me kind of, well, actually, I'm going to leave it right there. All I've done here was I went ahead and cut these. I still need these to trim these down to size, but I went ahead and got 2 pieces. And I know that they're wider than what the pillow needs to be, but I can go and trim that off later. It's just probably about an inch or inch and a half that I need to trim off on these ends here, but I'll do that part later. And all I've done here was I've pinned down a little bit of the fabric, just folded it over, and I'm just going to give it a nice little seam. And this is going to be kind of it's going to be an envelope pillow. An envelope pillow meaning that it's going to have an opening in the middle of the pillow where you can take it in and out, right? So I like doing envelope pillows because it gives you the opportunity to kind of wash your pillows and change them out and reuse the pillow insert that's on the inside. So the pillow insert doesn't require any zippers or anything like that. Oh, good morning, Harriet, and happy Halloween to you too. And River Rose, good morning to you as well. Awesome. Thanks for joining. So I think by envelope pillows, it just makes it a lot easier to change things out as the seasons change. It doesn't have a zipper, so it makes it so easy to do, and I don't have to go ahead and purchase a zipper pull as well. So it's just kind of budget friendly, quick and easy, very versatile because I can take it in and out, wash them, change them up, and it just makes it easy. So simple to do if you've never done a pillow insert. Envelope pillow. It's super, super easy to do. So you're just going to want to take 2 panels. Like I said, I do have to trim this off. So if I were to line this up to the edge here of my pillow front, you're going to see here, I still have about, what is this? About 2 inches, I guess, more or less, maybe 1 3/4 that I need to trim off here. So I'll be left with about, you know, that much on the side of this fabric, and I'm totally fine with that. And I can do that part later. What I wanted to do was just go ahead and sew this piece right here. Now, why am I folding 2 pieces over? Because this is going to be where the pillow opening is. And so I'm going to just kind of sew this down because I don't want any raw edges showing on here. So what you do is you just go ahead and you fold this over. I went ahead and pinned it just to hold it in place, so I didn't have to fiddle with this during the live. So I went ahead and just pinned it, and you're folding it 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever you're comfortable with. It really doesn't matter the sizing of this. You just want to fold it over so that raw edges don't show. And I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to sew this all the way across here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the second piece. So we do have 2 pieces here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this piece here. And you know, after that, there's only 1 step left after that, and we're going to be done. So let me just drag this over here. I'm going to put it over to the side, and we're going to wake up Miss Molly over here. Good morning. I hope she's awake. She may be still asleep because she was dancing away last night. So good morning. Good morning. All right. Let's go ahead and grab one of the pieces here. And it's batik fabric. So you'll notice when you're working with batik fabrics, they are a lot lighter. They are a little bit more slippery than just your regular 100% cotton or blends that's out there. So you do have to be a little bit careful with it. You just want to make sure that, let me flip this way. I want to sew her. Well, actually, no, I'm going to sew her this way. I'm going to sew her. You're going to see the bobbin thread on here, which is totally fine because the bobbin thread is the same color. Now I do have a white bobbin thread, which I'm totally fine with. I'm just going to leave her. So I'm going to stick this right underneath the foot and line her up. And let me just grab my sewing foot here. And I've got my stitch length at 2.5 inches. That's totally fine. You can change it to 2 inches. This is just a little bit of a construction stitch. You don't want this to unravel. This is really just to hold it down and not show any of the fraying from the fabric. We're just going to make it nice and clean. But it is going to get quite a big bit of tugging. So when we start when we finish doing this part and we start putting it to the front of the pillow, the opening piece where you start opening and closing, you really want to reinforce that because it's going to get a lot of tugging as you take the pillow in and out, and you're going to want to backstitch on that area. But when we get to that, I'll show you that. So let's go ahead and just do this. I'm going to scoot this over just a tad and just be really careful because, like I said, this fabric is a little bit slippery, so just take it a little bit slow. And then as you approach, just go ahead and pull out those pins. Okay, and I like to kind of just guide it with my fingers. And you'll want to make sure that you are supporting your fabric because you are changing and you don't want to create drag over on this side. So you want to make sure that you stay nice and straight. So make sure that your hand is being supportive on one side and your hands are supportive on the other. I'm going to go ahead and remove this pin. I think we have a good grip on it. And then as you go, just keep, supporting your fabric and moving along. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to keep going. So guys, let me know, what are you doing for Halloween? Are you dressing up? Are you going out? You're staying in and just watching a scary movie? That's always a fun thing to do. We used to do that a lot. Once we were back from trick-or-treating, we'd put a little movie on for the kids and break out the popcorn. So that's kind of still a fun thing to do. Alrighty, we're getting towards that end. And I'm just gonna double check my end here. See if I can take this pin out and just hold it down here. There we go. Okay, let me grab my pins. I don't want to lose those. I've been trying to be good and put them away, because if I don't, I end up with pins on the floor. Okay. Alrighty, let's scoot this over to the side for a bit. And you see we have a nice 1/4 inch seam line on here. Okay, going all the way through. Now this just gives us a really pretty finish here on this side where you won't see any of the raw edges. Okay, so we've got one panel done. And I'm going to set this over to the side. I'm going to grab the second panel. We're going to do the same thing. Let's just run that seam down. Let's bring Miss Molly right back here. Oops, sorry guys. Kind of bumped the camera there. Okay, so we've got our panel here, and I'm going to go ahead and lay her flat. Yes, very slippery. So it is, you know, you have to really kind of know your fabrics. There are some that are a little easier to work with. So if you are a beginner, I wouldn't suggest working with petite fabrics to start off, because they can slip around on you and it makes it a little bit harder to learn. And I don't want you to get, you know, frustrated just going at it for the first time. So, alrighty, let's go ahead and line that up. Give that a start here. Move that over. Oop, got a little close there. Okay. Alrighty. Always support your fabric. I get pretty close on those pins. I need to watch that. It's not a race. There's no need. There's no need to kind of rush through this, right? You're just enjoying the process. Okay. And we're getting close to the pin. Take that off. And we're getting towards that end here. Okay. And right on the end, just gonna kind of hold it down. Got a little stiletto that helps as well. Alrighty. So we've got our two panels all done. And let's just set this over to the side. So here's panel 1 and panel number 2. Here we go. Okay, so the way an envelope pillow works, and I'll just kind of pull it this way so you guys can see it. So we've got our raw edge on one side, and we've got the edge where we have sewn this 1/4 inch on the other, okay? Can we do the overhead? Here, okay, there we go. So we've got the sewing and finished edge on one side, the raw edge on the other, and an envelope pillow will allow you I'm just gonna lay these right here. It's gonna allow you to overlap. And the overlap is pretty much up to you, but you wanna make sure, and if I can lay this out right, let's see if I can jiggle that. There we go. So what you'll wanna make sure of is that you have enough overlap. So right now I'm just kind of fingering right here and I can feel the fabric underneath. So this is my overlap. So my raw edges on this side, my finished side of this panel ends right here. And then this is my finished side and here's my raw edge over here. So this is what we're calling as overlap. And this is where you will be opening to be able to insert your pillow and take it out. Now, if you think about the function of the panel is first of all to cover the back, right? But you have your nice finished edge on this side and you want to make sure that your opening is lined up the correct way on your pillow. Now you can have an opening going vertically, but most of the time you're going to see your overlap horizontal like this, okay? And what you also would want to look at, because there's things, these are all mistakes that I have made in the past as well, where my envelope is totally fine, but it ends up where my bottom of my pillow is on top instead of the top of the overlap. So if you were looking at it the correct way, so let's say it's not facing me, it's facing you. So this is the front of the pillow. And then if you look right on the back of the pillow, you'll see that my opening is sitting right on top. That's incorrect. This actually should be flipped the other way around, right? You want this opening, let me just kind of scoot it over this way. You want it to look like this, okay? So you're going to have the front of the pillow here, right? And when you just turn your pillow around, you want the flap or the pillow, this flap right here, to be on top. And then the bottom of the panel or your pillow top is this bottom panel is going to be underneath, so that when you turn the pillow around, your top part is going to be on the top and the bottom panel is going to be on the bottom. So when you open this up, it's going to be opened up this way, right? Not the other way. You want to make sure that the top goes on top, right? So you want it to follow the pattern. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I've had a couple times where I've sewn my bottom opening on the top. And so, excuse me. So when I finished it and turned it inside out, I realized that my opening is actually like this. And so my opening is I'm pulling the bottom instead of pulling the top. And that's, I mean, it's not going to be horrible. Your project is still going to be functional. It's going to be fine. But typically when you see pillow inserts like this that have that envelope opening, the top part of your project, you know, you're looking from top to bottom. So your top panel should be on top, not on the bottom. And that way you're able to access the panel opening and then go ahead and grab the pillow out. That's just the correct way to do it. Just make note that this should be on top. So how do we put all of this together? Very, very easy. And I'm just gonna, I'll face it towards me and then I will turn it around so that you guys can see it as well. So I've got my pillow top facing me. All right, so this is my top here, and I'm going to want my opening on the back of the pillow. I want my opening to be like this with my raw edges together, right? So I will be lining this up. And again, I haven't cut this piece off, but I'm going to be cutting it off. I'm just going to cut it off in the end. It really doesn't make a difference, but I'm going to cut it off in the end. And I'm just going to line these up here. Okay. And you're going to want to do this right sides together. So let's flip this over. make sure it's kind of hard to see because it's batik fabric, but make sure that your fabrics are right sized together. So you're looking at the ugly side of that trimming that you just did over on the top. So go ahead and put these right sides together, line up your edges here. Okay, make sure you're lined up. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So right sides together again, and you're going to take your finished edge, and that's what's going to be part of the overlap. So let me turn this around because I've got this side all lined up. Now I need to line up the raw edges of my fabric panel to the raw edges of my pillow top here. So just go ahead and line this up. Okay, so you've got your raw edges together here. And then we're going to go ahead and pin it just so you guys could see that. And make sure that your sides are lined up as well. Now this is a pretty large pillow top, so just take your time making sure that your raw edges are all together. Okay. Again, I have a piece that I probably will just kind of cut them off in a minute. Just make sure it's laying nice and flat. I've got a little bit of this, and if it's not extremely perfect in terms of it's not lining up perfect, you know, just note that, you know, some of this you can just, you know, hide it in the seam allowance and it'll be totally fine. But you want to make sure that you're capturing it and it's nice and straight. Now I have a pretty large overlap, but you don't have to overlap it so much, but you do have to do enough that you don't want your pillow insert to be bulging, right? So definitely what you want to do, right, is when you put that pillow in here, and you, depending on the size of the pillow and how, you know, puffy the pillow is, you don't want your overlap to come up short, because what happens is when you put that bulk inside, that bulge of the pillow will kind of force this piece to kind of come out, and it'll puff it up, and so it's taking up more space, and so then this is going to puff out, and your panel is going to look something like this, like it's going to bulge out here, and you're going to see the pillow insert here. You see what I'm saying? You definitely want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough overlap to accommodate the pillow insert. And so, you know, doing a little bit extra is always a good thing. But if you short yourself, your pillow insert is going to bulge out. And that's definitely not a good thing. All right, so you definitely want to make sure that you have enough overlap so that your pillow insert doesn't show. Some pillows are a little bit more puffy and bulky, and some are a little bit more flat. So it kind of depends on the pillow insert that you're using, but it's always good to have more of an overlap than less. So one thing that you can do, let's say you did short yourself, okay? And let's say that you didn't give yourself enough overlap, okay? And your pillow, you've sewn it all up, and your pillow is kind of bulging here, and you're seeing just a little bit of that pillow from the overlap, right? If that happens, one thing that you can do is you can just add a little button or put some Velcro on here that will kind of keep these two closed, because now you won't have too much of an overlap, but you can add like a little piece of Velcro or something that will help to keep this closed, and so you won't see the pillow coming out from the inside. Okay, so those are little things that you can do. If it didn't come out too perfect, just add that little button. It actually might turn out even cuter if you get a nice cute little button and put a little loop on there. or just add the little Velcro so nobody can see it, and that Velcro will just reinforce it and keep that nice and kind of together, so it just won't go up here. So okay, so you've got your two pieces here, right? This is the top of your project, your pillow top, and then we want to keep this like this. So I want my backing panel to come out on top. So I'm going to lay this one down, and then I'm going to lay my bottom panel on top here. Okay, finished edges are in the middle. Okay, and then you have your raw edges on the side here all lined up. So then just go ahead and pin them all the way around, and then you're just going to take your sewing machine and do that stitch all the way around just to secure that shut. Now you're wondering, well, if I sew this all the way around, how am I going to get my pillow in? Well, that's how this insert works. And you're going to have your opening here to be able to put the pillow inside, right? And so you'll turn this inside out. I would clip the corners if you want to get really pointed corners here. After you've sewn this, go ahead and clip those little corners as close as you can to the seam allowance so you can stick out those points. Another thing that you can do if you wanted to use embellishments on this, if you have piping, you can add some piping to give it some really nice definition around the curves. Or if you have some little other decorative things that you want to do, some people do little pom-poms, they have other things that you can do. This would be the time to go ahead and do that. Now, the other thing you can do, you've got a whole blank canvas on the back of that pillow. So if you want to embroider something on the back of the pillow, or even if you wanted to do some embroidery on the front, this is the time to do it before you seal all this together. So if you want to add a name or whatever it is that you want to add to your pillow front, go ahead and do that before you do this step. And then when you sew this all the way around, we were talking about back stitching and reinforcing. If you think about this little opening here, this is going to get a lot of tugging and a lot of use right here. Okay, this is where you'll be putting the insert in and out. There's going to be a lot of tugging, especially in this area right here, right? As we continue to open this and pull out the pillows and putting it in, there's a lot of force that you're doing here on the sides. So you really have to reinforce your sides here and make sure that you back stitch on the ends right here, right on both ends. Make sure that you back stitch where your panels are meeting. So this will be flat. Sorry. It'll be flat like this. Let me just lay this one flat. So you're going to want to back stitch and reinforce your edges right here. All of this, especially this little piece right here, as well as the other side. These two pieces really need to be reinforced. Backstitch them and restitch them a couple of times to really anchor this down, because this is where a lot of the pulling and tugging is going to go, and you don't want your stitches to pop when you're trying to pull the pillow insert in or out. So this is where all the force is going to be stressed right here. So make sure that this is really reinforced. Okay. Alrighty. And then once you've done that, you know, you're ready to go. Just turn it inside out and then pull that insert, the pillow insert in, and you're good. So, you know, you definitely have a really nice pillow at that point. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin this together. Now, while I do that, we've got a giveaway. Okay, we've got our little monthly giveaway here. And so we wanted to give away some memberships. Now, I've gotten behind on the membership, especially with Mr. H being out, but I'm hoping to pick that up soon. He is starting to feel a little better, but he's still kind of out of commission. But we're kind of trying to move on. And so we want to go ahead and do the giveaway. So can we do the giveaway for that? There's plenty of other videos out there that are already out that you guys can see. Good luck to everyone. You don't have to do a thing. If you're already in the chat, you are good. And it's the computer's just going to go in and pick automatically some random people, and we'll have a free membership. So let's go ahead and run that if we can. Good luck to everyone. There we go. You see it is running. It sent 5 GiftsHQ gift memberships. All right, River Rose, you've got a free gift membership. Congratulations. D Smith, or D, congratulations as well. RJ received a gift membership as well, and congratulations. Up Design Custom Z, congratulations to you as well. And Jess's Craft Therapy, awesome. So congratulations, we've got 5 memberships that were given out. They're totally free. You just need to accept them, and you'll have access to all our videos that are out there. And some of them, some of our older videos are out there as well. And that's when we were kind of developing the music and things like that. So they're a lot of fun to listen to. Yay, congratulations. Yes, congratulations to everyone who was able to grab a little membership there. So, yay, congratulations. So I am hoping, and I'm just pinning along, guys. I am hoping to do some more stuff on the membership. It's just, since Mr. H is kind of out of commission, you know, it's been a little hard to get things done. But hopefully soon I'll be able to put some new stuff out there. There's plenty of videos out there to keep you busy, I can tell you that. And we also have our other content that if you're into, let's say, knitting, maybe sewing or quilting is not really your jam, and you're into knitting or crocheting, there's a few videos out there as well, especially around the Addy and Centro machines. So those are pretty neat. You can make a lot of nice projects with that. I've done tons and tons of things with that. So you can definitely do that. Oh, Mr. H says he has gift cards to do. I don't understand what Mr. H is typing here. Okay, Mr. H says he has gift cards to do to give away for the members. Okay. Okay, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So that's coming soon as well. We'll be doing some of that as well. So we've got a few things planned. A little snag in terms of the timing on how we wanted to do things, but it's okay. We'll just readjust, but we'll get it done. We'll definitely get it done. So, alrighty. So I'm going to keep pinning this on the side here. I do have that extra piece that I need to cut off. And you know what? I think we're just going to try. Well, let me pin this side first, and then I'll try to cut that off because I think it's on that end. Yeah. Just make sure that you're nice and lined up. What's really nice is sometimes I don't like to trim off too early, because if you have a little oopsie and you haven't cut yet, you still have that opportunity to kind of fix it. Where if you've already made that cut, well, now you're kind of stuck and you've got to take that seam ripper out and you've got to really fix it. But I like to just kind of pin, and as I pin, if I see there's a seam here, I try to pin it at the seam, because I don't want the seam to flip on me like it did when we were doing the top. So I try to pin it on the seam, and that kind of gives me a heads up as to what's coming here. And so as I approach where the overlap begins, I'm going to have a pin there. But right here, if you guys can see that. Oh, thank you, Celia. Celia says, great show this morning. Awesome. If you guys like the content, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and helps us grow. And so that way I can bring you even more content. So as I approach the overlap here and I've got the end, the finished edge of my panel, I definitely want to pin it there, and just remember to backstitch in this area to reinforce that, because you want to make sure you've got reinforcement there. And then I'm just going to continue pinning all the way around. And I like to tap my pins, kind of have them lay nice and flat before I pin the next one. Now here is the finished edge of my other panel piece. And so I'm going to want to pin that right here, even though it's kind of close to this pin. I don't really need a pin, but I'm going to do it just to remind myself this is where that finished piece is. So I want to backstitch right here. Not only do I want to make sure that my machine doesn't flip this, but I want to backstitch here and make sure that that's reinforced really well. Now, if you wanted to, you can take a little marking pen right where those panel finishes are and just do a little mark, just so you know this is where you need to backstitch. Nobody's going to see it, so it's all good there. So just do 2 little dots here just to remind myself that. And then I'm just going to give it a little turn here. And we're going to go ahead and continue to pin this. And then pin it down going the other way. And again, once you have this all pinned up, you're pretty much done. You just grab your sewing machine and you're just going to sew all the way around. And then all you do is you flip it inside out. I don't know if I'll have enough time to do the whole thing with you guys live today, because we only have a few minutes left, but I will certainly show you the finished piece on Monday. And I have to get a pillow insert because I don't have a pillow insert that's quite this big. And you can pick up those pillow inserts from like Walmart, you know, they have them everywhere. Okay, now this is the side where I just need to make that cut. So if I flip this over, you can see here, I have all this extra panel right here. If you guys can see that, my pillow top edge is ending right here, all the way down. So I have about a good 1.5 to 2 inches extra that I just need to trim off here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my ruler and I will trim that off. We've only got a few minutes, so I'll just go ahead and do that off camera. I'm just going to trim that piece off, finish pinning this edge here, and then I'm just going to take my sewing machine and do a 1/4 inch seam all the way around here, and then flip it inside out, and I'll be able to show you guys that. Now, don't forget to clip your corners on the end so you have some nice little points after you've already sewn it all the way around. And then we can flip this over. It's going to be a beautiful pillow top, and I'll have to grab that pillow insert so I can kind of put it in here. So really, really neat. Again, you don't have to make a pillow top. You can also make this a table topper or a wall hanging. And if you wanted to go ahead and quilt it, you can do that as well. So that is all I have for you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And I want to wish you guys a very happy Halloween. Hope you guys are able to spend just a little time with the kiddos there. And, you know, be kind. You know, don't be greedy. Don't grab all the candy. Be very kind. Have a great
Happy Halloween.
And just have fun with it. Enjoy it. You know, life's too short. You know, it's good to get a couple little laughs every now and then and see all the cutie kids coming by with their costumes. They've worked really hard for it. Awesome. All right. So thank you again. And let me just kind of flip over to the inspirational quote of the day and leave you with that. So let's go ahead and get the inspirational quote. There we go. So today's quote of the day is, "Let fabric patterns guide your imagination towards an autumn masterpiece worth celebrating." And that's exactly what we want you to do. Just get your imagination going and get in your craft room and get things done, because this is the season. And that's it. Halloween is today. And after this, it's all about Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we are going to be swamped in our craft room. So don't forget to share your projects on Facebook. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all of your support. Again, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Happy Halloween. and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Nancy with GiftsHQ makes crafting videos, creating with passion and a love for what she sews. Crochet, quilting, and sewing, crafting is what she knows. Making smiles one craft at a time. Your talent will grow with every stitch and every thread she weaves her art. Her hands create something special straight from the heart. And as the colors come alive, the joy spreads near and far. Nancy and her gifted crafters shine like bright stars. She's Nancy with GiftsHQ, the queen of crafting bliss. From yarn to fabric, she makes dreams come true with every stitch. Quilts and scarves, hats and more, her creations never miss. Nancy and her gifted crafters, bringing joy and happiness. She's Nancy with GiftsHQ, the queen of crafting bliss. From yarn to fabric,